Okay, let's talk about what we need to do when we are solving these linear equations with brackets, when there's brackets involved. We've got a couple of options here. Let's talk about the first way first. Okay, I've got 7 outside of x minus 5 is equal to 28. Well, we know, because of the distributive law, that we can multiply out that bracket and we'll end up with 7x minus 35 is equal to 28. I can then do what I normally do. What's my unknown? 7. Is it alone? No, it's not. What's happening to it? Well, it is being multiplied by 7 and then having 35 taken away from it. So really what I want to do is work backwards from that point. So I'm going to add 35 to both sides. When I add 35 to both sides, I'm going to end up with 7x is equal to 63. Same questions. Is my unknown by itself? It isn't. It's being multiplied by 7. What's the reciprocal function? It'll be divide by 7, and I do that on both sides. I divide both sides by 7, and I end up with my value of x is equal to 9. That's easy. We've done that sort of stuff before. However, when we're solving these linear equations and there's a bracket, you've got to remember that this beginning side on this left-hand side here, they're really factors of this term, right? So we can do something differently here. Let's redo this one. Okay, so I've got my 7 outside of x minus 5 is equal to 28. Well, because I know that that 7 on the outside is a factor of that term, if it's a factor of the term on the right-hand side, well, I can divide by that factor straight away. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to divide both sides by 7. Now when I divide this left-hand side by 7, this 7 will just disappear and the 28 will become 4. Now when the 7, which is on the outside of the brackets, is gone from that left-hand side, I can just write it as x minus 5 is equal to 4. Now you have to admit that this line here has got numbers that are much easier to work with than this side over here. Okay, once we're there, we do the same thing. Our unknown is x. Is it by itself? It's not. We've got 5 being taken away from it, so I'll add 5 to both sides. Then I'll end up with x is equal to 9. So did I end up at the same spot? I did. Was my passage easier going this way? It sure was. The numbers were smaller and I didn't have to think so hard. Right, so be on the lookout when you're dealing with these linear equations and there's brackets involved. If there is a factor on both sides that you can divide evenly to begin with to make your working out much simpler to deal with.